Hey guys, this is Danny Boy. It is 12:18. It is about an hour after the midnight release, and I am making Mass Effect 3 Insanity videos. This is my engineer gameplay, or will be my engineer gameplay. I was just showing that I am in fact playing on Insanity, and blur. So here we go with the tutorial stage. This could have been seen in the demo, though I never actually recorded it, I never actually showed it, and I apologize, I'm speaking a little quiet right now because there are other people in my household and I do not want to wake them. But again, I never actually showed this in any of my demo videos because I didn't think there was any point to it, but you know what, why not? For our little introduction, I have to say I am pleased with the first hour or so of gameplay. Things are working very well. Very nice. I am extremely happy about the new weapons they added to the game already. I am extremely just... it's great to see the some shooter elements like mods. It's great to see just the variety of weapons they've already added. I did get the Digital Deluxe. I did shell out the $80 for it. So I got a bunch of bonus weapons, which is pretty much the reason I did it, honestly, that I bought it, was just the extra weapons. And getting the first DLC for free is nice too. I mean, free with quote fingers, but free nonetheless. So yes, the tutorial sequence, it is rather easy. I'm sure you guys have seen videos of it already. I will of course be showing far more than this, and the first video will show a little bit of the first planet, the first world. By the way, I should definitely mention that I am going to be skipping the story sequences for the most part. If a sequence is particularly irritating to edit out... Yeah, this guy used to die in one hit on Insanity in the demo from Incinerate. Now it takes 3. I was confused, that's why I let him hit me a couple times. So, yes, unless it's a particularly irritating bit to edit out that I'll have to fish through and whatever, I will be not showcasing any of the story sequences. My policy, as always, is simply, if you want to see the story, please buy the game, play the game, watch the story. Especially this game, I can already tell you that leaps and bounds have the dialogue sequences improved. They play much more like cinematics than on-rails story sequences. Story sequences that just stick out, that you know you're having a conversation. It's going into the little conversation sort of positioning with the two faces, and kind of like if you're in a conversation in Fallout 3 or something. I think you'll know what I'm talking about. That is gone. Everything plays out more like this short little cinematic you'll see right here. Again, I didn't feel like editing this out. Who cares? There are wounded guys, and there are cannibals, and we must pew-pew them. Also, these cannibals seem to be easier to deal with on Insanity and the demo than in the actual game. I almost actually die here because I'm not used to being so vulnerable. But, heal. Also, you'll see I fumble a few times in these early sequences, and it probably will take me a while. Unfortunately, not a good idea to randomly play Mass Effect 1 for a few days before playing Mass Effect 3. The control schemes, the keybind schemes are very different, and I wind up frequently hitting F for heal rather than 5, which kind of bad. Usually when I heal, I need to or I die. I got very lucky that one moment you just saw. So I will be putzing around with that a bit as time goes on. Hopefully I will get into the habit of not screwing up, ideally. I do prefer not to screw up. It does usually make for better gameplay. But whatever. So yes, the dialogue sequences are already much improved. I am a bit PO'd that you generally only have 2 options now rather than the third option, the often neutral option. Though I can't begrudge them too much because the responses now are so much longer and so much more detailed than they were in previous games that I kind of understand why they took out the middle response. And it didn't really matter, and whatever. I just am not a fan of simplification in any games for the most part, unless they're just taking out annoying things that really shouldn't have been in the game to begin with. But whatever, c'est la vie. So I really am not sure how I'm going to play this engineer. I have an idea of my build and everything already, of course, just because I spent so much time in the demo and just researching the game. Researching, again, quote fingers, just looking at Mass Effect Wiki and whatever, just in anticipation of the game to kill time. But I was planning on just using like assault rifles and pistols, but the first sniper rifle I got from having the Digital Deluxe, I forget what it's called. It's not the Mantis from the previous game. It is like the Crusader, maybe, something like that, some sort of knighty name. But I like it a lot, so I might actually use that for a good deal of time. And I really don't like the pistols. I haven't tried out all the guns yet. I honestly already kind of regret being an engineer. I kind of wish I was a soldier just so I could carry a much larger loadout of guns, because they all look interesting and I'd like to try them all out if I can. But again, this is what I'll be playing. I feel like it is, from what I've seen, it is an underplayed class in the series, and I also feel like a lot of players really don't get good use out of the engineer. The drone is incredibly powerful. It is so good. It is like the Singularity on crack, on steroids. It is so good. Now, granted, the Singularity is much better in this game because there are, as you see, even on Insanity, enemies without armor, or barriers, or shields, or whatever. So, the Singularity certainly got a big buff in that regard. But the drone is just so good in so many respects. It has so many uses. And I feel like a lot of players in Mass Effect 2 just either sit back and spam it, and have it spec to explode when it dies, and just use that to kill people, which is absolutely retarded, but whatever, and just don't make good use of their guns, and so on and so on and so on. I feel the engineer really works better with a very active playstyle. Spit out the drone as frequently as possible, shoot out incinerates as frequently as possible, shit out incinerates, yes. Shoot out incinerates as frequently as possible, and just go for the headshots, and so on and so on. But the tutorial is coming to a close. We are about to get into the first planet of the game, which you will see in a moment. Unfortunately, you won't really see any combat in this video on that planet, because I will just show the abilities that we didn't know about, or at least I didn't know about, because I don't think we knew what Kaidan had. So I'm going to quickly show that and just look through that, and I'm going to quickly spec. So this sequence is mainly just looking at abilities that we didn't know about. Not this, we all know about sabotage and whatever. So it's just me making my build. I was trying to determine, you know, am I going for weight right away, or am I going for recharge reduction? Guys, spec for recharge reduction first, or spec for weight first, but don't randomly spec and you need recharge reduction, you need weight. If you want to use any sort of variety of weapons and not, you know, have a huge penalty to power recharge, you need those reductions as quickly as possible, in my opinion. So yes, Kaidan has Barrier and Kaidan has Reeve, and Barrier seems to be a lot like Tech Armor, only with a biotic component for the most part. Maybe there's some subtle differences, but it seems to be along the same lines. Or Fortification, basically a thing you keep up, and then you can toggle it off and do some sort of explosion or whatever buff, and then it goes on cooldown. Reeve is, yes, it disrupts their resistances and protections. I don't actually remember, I don't think it actually heals you, I think it gives you, like, a shield buff or something? I don't, let's see, what does it say? Well, you can read it, you'll just have to pause to read it. I glanced at it so quickly so as not to waste time on this that I didn't get a chance to read it. But yes, guys, so I'm going to try to get out as many videos as I can tonight. I'm going to immediately render this and upload it to YouTube, and then keep playing while I upload to YouTube. I do have work in the morning, so I can't spend too much time on this. And if you guys want to see more stuff, well, from what I understand, hackers have already hacked the game and started showing gameplays and leaking the story and spoiling the story like a day or more ago, maybe a few days ago, by cracking the code on the Xbox 360. So yeah, I'm already late to the party on that respect, even though I'm doing this an hour after global release, but whatever, what can you do? So yeah, again guys, I'm just checking out the powers. The next video will be filled to the brim with combat, though I will also show all of the DLC weapons, or at least the stats for them. I won't get a chance to use them all yet. I will use them all over the course of my gameplays, but I could only use a few that I was interested in to start. So thanks guys for watching. Stay tuned for more. Like, subscribe, comment if you will. I really appreciate it. It definitely motivates me to make more videos. And have a good one.